She said blah 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 blah. She said blah 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 blah. She said.
All right, so I'm going to have lysed platelets, lysed high-density platelets, about 1 million per microliter. And my baseline platelet count is low, like 150,000. So I can't make as much PRP as people with average platelet count of around 200,000. But I can still get close to 14 cc's. And so I'm adding lysed platelets, and I'm also adding Regeneration, which is an extracellular matrix packed with exosomes and collagen. And let's see what happens. You know, it worked for me really well last time. I had a great response. So I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to tattoo in dutasteride, a liposomal dutasteride, and also a peptide called biterin. It's really a cool peptide. So we use this M-Site kit, which is, in my opinion, the best PRP kit on the market. It's really the only one you should consider, in my opinion, because we can create a leukocyte low, not leukocyte free, but a leukocyte low PRP, and we can create a very high density PRP because the capture rate can be as high as 80%. Now, a lot of systems are low, like 50%. For example, Regen is about 50%, maybe 55% on a good day. And that means that if you draw 10 cc's of whole blood, you can get only 1 cc of PRP with 1 million platelets per microliter, and that's high density PRP. So what we're actually looking for is somewhere between 750,000 and 1.5 million. And that sweet spot's right around 1 million. Okay, that's a therapeutic window. So I like to get a baseline platelet count, and my baseline platelet count usually runs 150,000. Today, I'm in luck. My baseline is 163,000, which is good. Okay, it's good. All my other parameters are in good shape. My hematocrit is 43. That's high normal. That's probably because I'm on testosterone. And so then my PRP, we got a concentration of 1.1 million and 1.2 million in the PRP. And then we lysed it. And a lot of times we'll get under 10,000. But in my case today, we went from 1.1 million to 1.2 million down to 50,000. So that's a lot of lysing. And so most of my platelets now are burst. And the beauty of that is I'm going to get about 5 times the concentration of the high molecular weight growth factors. So in my PRP, I have still some white cells. 80% of those are lymphocytes, which can be T helper cells. Well, I like that. And then the second highest concentration is monocytes. And I have a low concentration of neutrophils, about 1.83% of my white cells are neutrophils. We don't want neutrophils. We want monocytes, number 1. Lymphocytes would be the number 2, but in PRP, the most common cell that you're going to see is going to be a lymphocyte. We don't get the neutrophils typically because we don't take all the buffy coat, and they're going to be down in the lower part of the buffy coat. So this is good PRP, and I was able, because the capture rate's so good, I got 14 cc's of PRP. high density PRP, which is high. For a baseline of 163,000, there aren't a lot of kits that are going to capture that high. We got to be in the 80% range. I can actually calculate it, but it's high. It's a very high capture. So I'm going to be loaded up with growth factors, cytokines, and chemokines. And I need it because I'm 10 months out from my last treatment. I don't like to go beyond 8, but I'm just so busy I haven't been able to sit down and do it. Okay, now I'm going to tattoo dutasteride, liposomal dutasteride. This is a brand new product. I don't know anybody else in the U.S. has got this liposomal dutasteride, but this is a specially made pharmaceutical. And I'm going to put it in. And so dutasteride, you need a lot of alcohol to get it into solution. And because of that, it stings, really stings if you try to inject it. But this liposomal dutasteride, I'm going to try it in a couple of weeks with the dermapen. Just try to mesotherapy it in, maybe inject it in very lightly do like a mesotherapy and see how it feels. But right now, I'm being a little more aggressive because I want to microneedle my head. This stimulates the ERK pathway. Now, you can be in something called M3 lock. That's a chronic inflammatory phase. It's self-perpetuating, and you cannot inject your way out of it. So if you get into that phase by letting staying away from the PRP, by not, stimulating the ERK pathway, and you get in that cycle, that M3 lock, which is inflammation, downregulates the mitochondria, causes the extracellular matrix to, compress, and that compression leads to a mechanical transduction. That mechanical transduction stimulates more inflammation, and you can't inject your way out of it. You have to use a mechanical stimulation at that point to break the lock, and then come back with a PRP. So I don't want to get into that M3 lock again. So that's why I'm being pretty aggressive here with this tattooing. Now I like the tattooing because the well soaks up the product, in this case being dutasteride. Sometimes I'll do it with Rayagel. I've done that in the past where I tattoo in Rayagel, which is the extracellular matrix with exosomes. But in this case, I'm doing the liposomal dutasteride. And mainly the microneedling. This is a pretty aggressive microneedling. This is more aggressive than the dermapen. And what my objective here really is to kind of turn my head into a kind of like a pizza pie. I want to be kind of red, a little bloody, look like a marinara sauce on top of my head, and then I know I've gotten in there really good. All right, let's do the binterin peptide into my scalp. Go. Yeah, this is the binterin. It's a peptide, it's a liquid. And it's a small enough peptide to where if you put it just topically, it'll absorb, but it's better to microneedle it in. So I'm using now a dermapen and kind of dripping it on my head and kind of driving it in the surface. But I've already got, open wounds, and it'll go in through that too a little bit. We'll get some absorption. Nice thing about tattooing is it drives it into the scalp. When you microneedle it, kind of I don't know how much gets pushed in. Really, it's like you don't put tattoo ink on somebody's skin and they have a tattoo. You have to put a tattoo machine on there. It drives the ink into the skin, and now you have a tattoo. So that's why I like the tattooing. First of all, it's got a well. It sucks up the dutasteride or the binterin, and then I can deliver it directly into the skin. And my target's about, and same thing with PRP, I want to be about 2 to 3 millimeters deep. So 2 millimeters is fine. You got stem cells right there, and then gravity will take it down. So that's my Bentarin. It's a nice little peptide. And now I'm going to put just a little topical Radiogel because I got all these little puncture wounds. Radiogel will heal an open wound, but it also get in there. It's got all those exosomes, extracellular matrix. This is a liquid form of A cell. So the same PhD who made A cell made the Radiogel, and it's one heck of a product. I love it. I love to put it on my donor areas. I love to use it topically in any wound. So if I had an open wound, I'd put this there, and it really helps heal it up. It's a fantastic product. And it's so much better because A cell was a solid. You couldn't like just sprinkle that on the head. You had to have an open wound and kind of get it in there and mix it with a little hyaluronic acid and it would kind of stick in the wound, but you'd have a little bit of leakage and it'd get out. Well, this goes right on your scalp. You rub it in. It's really nice. Really nice product. It's expensive, but it's good. This comes from the spleen and the lung of a pig, whereas A cell comes from the bladder of a pig. A cell's a nice product, but it's a solid. This is much better. It's a liquid. And it's potent. It's got something like 160 billion exosomes in it. Good? All right, so that's good.